Hello, hola, and buenas, buenas. We are bringing you live now to the Galaxy's press conference after the comprehensive 3-0 win away to Mount Pleasant in Jamaica. Let's go live now.
Hi, Coach. Um, you're part of that winning Toronto team that went all the way to the final. Do you believe this LA team has capabilities to get there?
We do. It's again, we got to get healthy. We got to get settled in here a little bit. We look forward to the international break because we'll get a couple weeks of training that we can work on some things. We're just going from game and recovery to game. So we have some quality. It's really difficult to get to the final and to win the final. And it's a challenge. So we've got to do a lot of things well. We've got to execute well. But there's some potential in the locker room for us to be able to do something like that.
Coach,
So
It's at the thing.
yeah, there you go. Sorry, I'm not good at microphones. All right, there we go.
Coach, second leg was a whole different type of ball game. In your opinion, how did your team perform as well as your opponents?
Yeah, I think Mount Pleasant, I think they're a very well coached team. I think again, structurally, they did a nice job of setting up different than they did the last time. Obviously, if some new faces that didn't make the initial trip. I felt like we got too stretched from back to front, especially on the defensive side of things. I think while we were organizing and figuring out kind of the shape so we could at times get pressure, our back line was far away from our front line, and they were able to find spaces in between us and build some speed and momentum into their attacks. Again, I thought, we found some moments to be able to play, created some chances. They man marked us in a lot of parts of the field, so it takes a second sometimes to figure out what that's going to look like. So I think eventually we got there, but I think at times it took us a little while to settle in to see what the game was really going to look like and how to find the solutions in the game. But I think that's a credit to the coach and the job that they did on that side.
Coach Ronaldo Adams, 876 stream. The first leg also ended 3-0. Tonight ended 3-0. Were there any differences that you identified though in the two performances from your team?
Yeah, I think, for us at home, I thought we created a lot of chances and we probably let some chances and opportunities to score goals go. I'd say tonight we didn't create as many chances. Again, I think it's a credit to the organization of the opposition and making it difficult for us on the defensive side. I think they had more possession of the ball probably in this game. Again, credit to the coach and their setup and us probably trying to identify some things through the course of the game. Trying to protect the space in behind us a little bit. The field's a little bit shorter than fields we typically are on. I think it's 112. Usually we're closer to 118 or 20, which I think we were a little concerned of the space behind us and how quick they could be on goal for us. So again, I think we were too far apart, but they adjusted and had some different rotations on their attacking setup, things like that I feel like we needed some time to just adapt to and try to find solutions. So I think very well played by their side, even though they were 2-3-0 score lines. I think that was more of just us being able to finish some chances and for them they still did a nice job.
Coach Simon Brown, Action Jamaica. Firstly, congrats on your win and going through to the next round. Now, even though this is a Champions Cup, in MLS, you've been a little bit hot and cold, right? How do you plan to take this win to motivate the players going back to MLS?
Yeah, I think in MLS we've done our own undoing. We were at home and in the first match we're up 1-0 and very control of the game and took a red card on a penalty, which made it 1-1. We end up in a draw. We win the second 3-0, and we looked like we have a complete performance. The third, we take another yellow card, or take another red card, and we end up losing a game that we are very much in at 1-1 and playing well. So I think for us is we can't be our own worst enemies. We've got to be able to again find the solutions inside of the game, execute, and make sure that we play solid and we don't make any mistakes that hurt ourselves. In the last game, again, we had more chances, more opportunity, more possession, which doesn't always mean everything. We gave up 2 goals off of 2 counterattacks and we need to be cleaner in those situations. So we've got to take care of our own business and we've got to make sure that we do a better job of executing on our side.
Coach, Madam McFarland, John Pelfon again. Is there, speaking of MLS Day, is there an update on the status of Joseph Pansil? Will he be able to come into play for this weekend's match?
He won't be available this weekend. Once we get through the international break, we hope that on the other side of it, he'll be ready as we restart after the international break, but I don't think he's not going to be ready for this week.
And finally, coach, this is for my friends in LA. Justin Hack once again play as a center back. Is you believe that's where he is his best, or we believe midfield is where he's best?
I think he'll ultimately settle out for us as a center back. I think he gives us an opportunity sometimes to, within our midfield, to give some guys like Edwin Cerrillo a rest, so he doesn't have to play every minute of every game, and we can rotate, and he can certainly do an excellent job in there. But I think and speaking with him too, I think he's more comfortable in the back, very comfortable with the ball on his feet, starting attacks. I think getting comfortable with the partnerships of the guys that are around him, because he's had 3 different center back partners in various games. So I think he'll settle into being a center back as we continue to move forward.
Thanks.
All right, and with that, we'll switch over to the Zoom. We'll get started with Josh.
Hey, Greg, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it. Hopefully you can hear me. Wanted 2 questions for you. One is talking about maybe how this went to plan for you guys. I know there was a hope that maybe you could rest some players and rotate in the second half, and how that went too. And then also if we could get an update on Jakob and his injury.
Yeah, I think in general, the game went to plan. We had 3 guys that were on the field that had yellow cards. We wanted to be mindful of those guys as the game progressed. We obviously rested some guys from the previous weekend. We got the guys, I think we more or less got the guys off the field when the guys we wanted and when we wanted off the field. So I think by and large, it was minutes wise, and our expectation were more or less where we wanted to be. We didn't take the game for granted. I think our group recognizes that our performances are important, and executing our performances are important here right now. And so we try to keep some momentum at the same time, trying to be mindful of guys with cards and other things. So I think we got through it. We had a 3-0 win, and we move on to the next round. And now we got to turn our attention back so we can. Jakob will be out this weekend. He's going to be out for a little while. It's a calf injury. As one would have it, we rested him in the last game. Obviously, because he had played every minute leading up to the last match, and we rested him, and then he picks up a calf injury in the training session the day after the day off. So unfortunate, and he'll be out for a bit. I have to find out how long that's going to look, but it's going to be out for a little while.
All right, we'll go move to Robert.
Hey, Greg, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Greg, for your time. The defense picked up another shutout today. Can you tell us how you see this defense coming together, and then just what this win does for you guys psychologically heading back into the league over the weekend? Thank you.
Yeah, I think defensively, I think if we look at our defensive record since the start of the season, I don't like the 2 goals we gave up against Kansas City. Both of those are transitions that we didn't handle well. I went through that with the team. I don't have to go through that all now. But aside from including those 2 goals, and if you took out just the 15-20 minutes of being down a man in Colorado, I think we're up in the probably top 5 or so in expected goals against. I think we're in the top 8 or 9, even with the playing down a man for 30 minutes in 2 of our 4 games. So I think our defensive work has been solid. Again, keep 11 guys on the field, and then I was disappointed in the way we managed the counterattacks in the last game. But by and large, I think we've been solid. I think we're lowest in the league in terms of saves. Our goalkeepers haven't had to make a ton of saves, and our expected goals against and shots against are just low. So I think we're doing a solid job on the defensive side, but sometimes as much possession as we have, especially at home, it's about managing moments, it's about managing transition situations, things like that. And a couple of those got away from us. But I think the defensive work has been pretty sound.
We'll take one more quickly. We'll go to Jim.
Hey, Coach, Jim Alexander here. Obviously, now the focus will turn to Toluca, the next opponent here, and obviously it's going to be a level up in competition. How early do you start planning with upcoming game at Portland coming up too? When do you start sort of planning for Toluca? And, because obviously it's going to be a tougher test for the team too, but how do you sort of manage the league play, quick turnaround, and then Toluca coming up?
Well, we have a short turnaround coming into Portland here on the weekend, so all of our attention will be on that. Then we have a couple of weeks between games because of the international break, and as we go through that couple of weeks, we'll try to prepare the next series of games, which will include Minnesota at home plus on the road at Toluca, which is always going to be a challenge. I'll follow with another road game, and then a home game against Toluca, and then another road game. So the next stretch of games is going to be really difficult. We'll use the 2 weeks in the international break to sort of try to map out and look at our opponents and see what's in front of us. But right now, there's only one thing in front of us that we're concerned about, and that's preparing for a Portland.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Press conference. Thank you all for joining us. Apologies if we didn't get to you on the Zoom. Recording of this press conference will be made available.
And you guys just heard from our head coach, Greg Vanney, on the LA Galaxy's 3-0 win away from home in the second leg of the round of 16 in the CCC against Mount Pleasant FA. And by the way, guys, hello, hola, and buenas, because we just went straight to the presser. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And thank you to everyone joining us right now for this IR. And again, sorry, the audio was a little weird there, but hopefully you guys heard that well enough, and hopefully you guys got a few tidbits. I certainly did. But to hear what he picked up from the presser, because he was just there, zooming him back into the studio, my fellow co-host here, El Escudero LA, Rob Hallon. Rob?
Yo, I'm back. Did you do like the hello, hola, and buenas? And
I just did it like really quick because we just had to zoom to the presser. But,
allow me, because we also have an announcement.
Really?
Guys, well, obviously, welcome to this instant match reaction for the Galaxy's big win here over Mount Pleasant 3-0. That's a comprehensive aggregate 6-0 win on the tie. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and give you an instant reaction here, but we're going to be doing so joined by the homies Dylan Oatman and Andrew Hernandez of the COC Network, who will be here to break down this match and give us the hot takes on what they thought about it all. And then, obviously, give your thoughts about the press conference and everything. So anyway, Ananda, should we do one word? Should we bring the boys on? Should we spin the track? The world's your oyster, Papa. Do what you want.
We just do what we want. You know what? Because we do it every show. Papa, cue up that track.
Pew! Skip that track. Yep.
Jesus.
I like it.
Yeah, let's get it started with a new year, new me. Una Galaxiana still reporting on the news feed, yeah. And you know who it be, the 6 stars on the jersey, putting work in the league. Word on the street, we rip teams immaculately. We see the players come and go, but I'm forever a G. And you can catch me yelling tactics on the field when I leave. Get it together like I'm Vanney when I'm giving a speech. Back to the pitch, score goals, dribbling tricks. I heard a transfer window rumor, let me see who it is. I got statistics on the player, puzzle pieces that fit. Con este show que es tan bilingüe que tu papi lo ve. Rápido pues, hablando de este club otra vez. En las buenas y en las malas, we got love for the crest, love for LA. Let's get it started, light up the stage. Every week on Monday night I'm tuning into the place. Yeah, you know what it is. Es la Cuna Galaxiana, 4th season, Rob Ananda. And my name, ya te lo sabes.
Hey, now it's official. Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana. Tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the Galaxy's 3-0 win over Mount Pleasant away there in Jamaica in the round of 16, which puts them through to the quarterfinal against Toluca. And now, really quick to introduce myself, I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Halon. You can find my written work at the Sporting Tribune, and you can find me online at El Escudero de LA. And of course, El Yerno Guapo y El Gitano Perdido, but most importantly, El Papa de Natita is here with me as well. Papa, we're going to get to one-word reactions in a moment, but this is the performance you want to see out of these boys, right?
Decisive. Like, I'm just gonna get right into it. That was my
Ooh.
one word. It's
You
decisive.
jumped the gun on them.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's
on them. Don't do it to them.
I just didn't want a very stressful day. Like, I was like stressing already. Like, can I get out of work early to make the watch along? Can I put all my can I update the thumbnail 3 or 4 times and get all the agenda notes going before the show? But that happened. So it was less stress, which was nice. So it was a fun thing. Off to the next round. That's where we need to be.
All right, decisive for you. And now, really the reason everybody in chat is here. I know that's really the reason that
yeah, because we just talk too much. We just talk.
We just talk a goddamn too much. Anyway, we're gonna bring on these boys, these wonderful guests of ours. We've had them both on the show before at separate times. I believe that's correct. But now, for the first time together. Yes, thank you, Ananda. Correct. Now, for the first time together, we're going to bring on the homies Dylan and Andrew.
Double trouble. Double trouble.
Yeah, man. Yes, fuego indeed.
Let's bring him on.
Welcome to these boys. Welcome, Dylan. Yeah. Welcome, Andrew. How you boys feeling? A 3-0 win to celebrate, huh?
Yeah, can't be too mad. And at this point, you talked about talking too much. That's what me and Andrew do on a weekly basis. And we're starting to become a package deal. I feel like every time we're doing something, we are doing it together. So happy to be back. Thank you guys for having us once again.
All day, man. It's a pleasure. I mean, we I've always loved having Andrew on. We had you on just shortly ago, man. So thank you guys so much for dropping by again. Papa Andrew, I know that you and I know that we're probably going to be writing some words here in a couple hours and dropping some articles. Boys, really quick before we go any further, let the folks know out there where they can find you, starting with you, Andrew.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Rob. Super great to be back. It's been way too long. Ananda, thanks so much for having me. And Dylan, once again, always a pleasure to chat with you. But yeah, as for me, you can see it on the screen there. We're on Los Angeles Sports Nation. Like Rob mentioned, we'll have some articles talking about this much and kind of the general state of the Galaxy. If you've been following my coverage, I'm not exactly the most content with the way things are going right now. And I think we'll get into a little bit later why I may be still not so content even after this win. But Los Angeles Sports Nation is where you can find the written word. We're on NGF Andrew on Twitter, Nuestra Galaxia Futbolera on Instagram. We're also on TikTok and on YouTube now. We got the NGF channel, which I think I'll go ahead and let Dylan talk about a little bit more.
Yeah, you can find anything with us on COC Network. You can see me get pretty schizo. It's been a really interesting year for our podcast. Obviously, the Galaxy thing is its own thing in its own right, but we cover the Prem as well and across 3 different teams that have had 3 very different seasons. It's been interesting. And like Andrew was saying, since he's joined our little group here, we started getting, I want to say it's debatey, which is good because I can get my certain way when it comes to the Galaxy. And Andrew usually is the leveler, but I think I'm starting to change him just a little bit. But yeah, you can find us at COC Network across socials or on YouTube.
Which one of you two is the more likely to be the shit starter?
Me.
Yeah,
for sure.
By some margin. I love Andrew. He's the best. He's so nice and so kind, and everything that he says is very thoughtful and it's thought about. And I tend to shoot from the hip, whether that's good or bad. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. So basically, Ananda's like Andrew. He's like, the nice one, and I'm kind of like the a-hole. Right on. Gotcha. Now that we got dynamics out of the way.
Apparently, I was an a-hole though, talking about Michovic's stats. But anyways, let's get into the.
Whoa, who said that?
I said that. You said, and you called it out, and so did Eddie Nags.
Okay. Well,
But, it deserves to catch that. So, yeah.
I'm all right with Eddie Nags saying it. All right, guys. Well, the reason we're here, let's get right into it, man. I mean, the Galaxy win 3-0. It's a welcome bounce back from the previous defeat in their last match. It was very, very necessary. It was honestly something that I really didn't expect. I was talking about with Tab and Peyton. Shout out to those boys that would you guys be upset with the 0-0? I mean, they would be going through. I mean, as long as they go through with no injuries, why not, right? It wouldn't be the worst thing, but they go out there and get that 3-0 win. So with that in mind, first, let's get your one-word reactions, and then we'll go to headlines. So, Dylan, let me get your one-word reaction from this match.
Conflicted, which sounds weird coming from a 3-0 win, but while it was a 3-0 win, everything going into the match, the way that I thought we approached the match, and then everything Greg Vanney pretty much said after the match makes me feel less excited about a 3-0 win when I find out that our best defensive player is out, quote unquote, a while or a bit, whatever he said. And that's why I feel conflicted, right? I think he's been our best player, barring Klaus, and to know that he's going to be gone for a bit when there's an international break coming up, that's concerning. Calves are concerning. So,
yeah, it's not even like, oh yeah, he's gonna be out for a bit, but the international break gives us a while for him to get. No, it's just like, nah, he's gonna be out for a while, blood. Like we don't even know. Like, just we got to find out like how long, So, anyway, Andrew, give me that one word, Papa. The crisp, nice jersey behind you, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Dylan hooking it up with the classic Cosmos jersey. Hopefully some more details on those soon. But my one word, I think it's kind of in a similar vein to Dylan. It's predetermined. The result for this game was basically already determined. There was a little bit graphic, I think, that CCC put out. Mount Pleasant would have had to win. I think it was either 4-0 or 5-1 was their only real way of getting through. And when you just look at that graph, you see all the Galaxy crests and those two little Mount Pleasant crests, kind of to Dylan's point, just the thinking behind how we set up not just this game, but the last game. It leaves me with a lot of questions. And I think kind of, again, just repeating what Dylan said, that press conference did leave me with some more questions. I don't think we learned anything from this game. So I mentioned this when we were talking about it with Dylan in our little group chat. This felt to me like an unskippable cutscene. We knew what was going to happen. We knew what the next challenge was. It was just about actually getting through it. So a good win, a good result is a nice, probably little ego boost for the players, but not one that I personally can take too much from.
Right on. Well, Ananda, we already got yours, and I guess I'll give you mine. Professional. I actually enjoyed the performance, not so much from like the soccer standpoint, but from the point where like there's been so many instances this year where we've expected something from the Galaxy and they haven't provided. Today, we expected them to go out there and put in a professional performance and get the result because, like Andrew said, the result was pretty much beyond doubt, but they still had to get that result today. And they went out there and did it. And not only that, but they did it convincingly. They did it by getting a couple goals and setting themselves up well in the table so that they can get the return leg against Toluca. So, I mean, in that regard, yeah, I feel like mine is professional. Boys, let's head over to headlines now. Boys, I don't know if you guys know how this one is done, but give us your headline for what you feel like is the standout topic from this game. And maybe, Ananda, you can go ahead and show them how this is done, and you can go ahead and go first.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different themes, but you know what? I'm going to pick up on something because I'm latching to this now. And again, this is an IR. This is like, putting all the feels out there, basically like 20 minutes after full time. But maybe my headline, Rob, is 1 step forward, 1.5 steps backward. Like it's one step forward into the next round. That's clear. We're going to face a very difficult opponent. And I think from now until, I don't think there's a date yet, but the earliest date would be April 7th. That would be a Tuesday. From now until then, there's so many variables and there's so many things that are going to take place up to that point. So yes, we have obviously we have advanced into the next round, but as Dylan said and Andrew said, you know, in the presser there, we talked about obviously Jakob Glesnes. The interesting one too was Justin Haak revealed, and now he's a center back. Now he's fully firmly as part of that back four, right? But just like some concerns, mostly the Glesnes one, like I said, and then we'll see how Emmy is. I mean, Emmy in his cameo looked okay. Didn't have to do much, to be honest with you. But yeah, good result, but maybe some things down the road that we need to see. So maybe I hope it's not a step and a half back. I hope it's, well, we'll find out real quick, right, this weekend if it was a step forward or not. But yeah, a little bit concerning there. I kind of put a damper on the mood there a little bit. I'm not going to.
So one step forward, 1.5 steps back for Ananda. We'll go with Andrew for his headline. I mean, it'll give you practice because you got to write your headline in a bit anyway. So, so go ahead, Andrew. Oh, where'd he go? He froze.
He's back.
Happened last time. I forgot to unmute.
Okay.
But for me, the idea of this game is, or my headline afterwards, there's no more easy games after. I think one of the biggest talking points is that after this in CCC comes Toluca, a team who we have some very recent history with, probably going to be looking for a big revenge game against them. But it's a tough opponent. I think easily our toughest of the year up until that point. But looking at the other games, the rest of the league games, the schedule coming up, not a lot of super strong teams, especially immediately. You got Portland and Minnesota kind of hanging around in that bottom half of the table with us. FC Dallas, which again, not a super impressive team on the table, but we always seem to have trouble with those Texan teams. But all of these games, we're not sure when we're going to be getting Glesnes back. Yoshida, we didn't hear anything, but there was a moment where he was, seemed like he picked up something of a knock. He was on the pitch for a minute or two, took a little bit to get up. And for me, you're just thinking of all these things coming up where we have Emiro Garces returning, who we don't really exactly know what we're getting, or if we do, it's lots of pace, but also a lot of chaos. And as we've kind of seen with Glesnes stepping in and taking away that chaos and replacing it with stability, chaos doesn't necessarily help the Galaxy. It's great to have someone who can do those return runs, but that's not the MO for the Galaxy anymore. Greg Vanney said it himself. He doesn't give a shit about scoring. It's about the defense first. And there's a big question mark in the defense without Glesnes. So I'm definitely concerned for these upcoming games on how that defensive structure will look like. Because again, even without Peck, Paintsel, we don't know when we're getting back. The Galaxy have been in positions to take away points because of the defense, because of players, mainly like Glesnes, Maya, who we hope is okay. But Maya's going to have to play a lot more. He played in a game today where he maybe could have rested. I feel like that's a big mistake, especially looking at everything going forward. But for me, there's no more easy games from the Galaxy. It's really, there's just been a lot of question marks. All the red cards, having players unavailable, injuries to Paintsel, now to Glesnes. And I think now is really where we're going to see what this team is actually made of. So looking forward to, I think that's the big thing that Lynn and I talked about in a recent video we did, just these excuses running out and seeing what the results are.
And there you all have it. And we are left with Dylan for the headline.
My headline is finding consistency, because my golden thing this year has been I have no idea what consistency is when it comes to the LA Galaxy this season. Whether it's been because of the red cards or because of some tactical stuff, I just don't think that we're playing a consistent enough style week over week or game over game for me to feel comfortable with this team. But you actually tweeted something, Ananda, which was this midfield three has now won it's 3 straight games, and it's been by the scoreline of 3-0. That's consistency, right? Like, I feel like every time I see this midfield three, they just make this team tick a little easier. And whether that's Klaus being able to pick up the ball a little deeper, get into the box late, or Peck just not having to do as much work going back, I just feel the structure and the setup is built for this team to be young. And I think if there's anything we could have learned from last year and towards the back end is these guys can play, which is honestly why I was a little disappointed there wasn't more change going into this match. Was guys like Harbor Miller or Sanabria, Winder, and Surreal, like they're young guns. Run them until they can't, to a certain extent, right? I think this game was over within the first goal. When was the first goal? Like 15 minutes in. So
Yeah.
more youth, more consistency. I think that for whatever reason, that usually doesn't go hand in hand. But in this case and with this Galaxy side, I find it going together really well. So yeah, finding consistency.
I like it. I'll throw Peck Brace completes Mount Pleasant route in Concacaf Champions Cup for LA Galaxy. And like Andrew said, no more easy games. Now semicolon, now the real work begins. So you had a matchup against San Miguelito, no shade to them. That was the Galaxy heavily favored. They should have won that tie. They did. Again, against Mount Pleasant, they were heavily favored. They should have won that tie. They did. Now, again, the real work begins against Toluca. Guys, let's take it to G's up, G's down. Now, this is pretty, I think, self-explanatory, but you tell us 1G who their stock goes up because of this game and 1G whose stock goes down because of this game. Let's start with Dylan this time. Big D.
My stock up is going to be Sanabria.
I know, that's right.
Sanabria, it has to be. Did anybody have this guy getting G&A this year? Like, there's no way. There's no way that was his trajectory. Like, if anything, it was like, oh, maybe he'll slowly build into the season. But I think that the best version of this team has him playing in that dual 8-10 kind of role. He continues to impress me with his work rate and his energy off the ball. I think that's really where that he shines, is multiple times within the first 15 minutes of the match, their left back and their left center back didn't know what to do because he was on them right away. And the counter press was super impressive with him. So from a tactical standpoint, the way that Greg Vanney wants to play, I think it just has to have him in it. So he's my G up. I guess Winder would be my G's down. I just didn't think he was great today. A lot of the
interesting.
stuff,
Why?
I just didn't think he was very involved in a game that I thought he would be more involved in. But maybe it's due to him not being, or he's played a lot of minutes. I just didn't think he was as tidy today, if that makes sense. And that's the one thing that I can consistently count with Winder, is him just being tidy. And he wasn't as tidy. And whether that's just his legs were a little bit gone, could have been a use for maybe Parente to come into the side just to give him the week off. It's hard to be critical when you win 3-0, but I guess it would be him. I don't really have a G's down. Like it was like a 6 out of 10 for me for Winder, instead of I think we're getting a baseline 7 right now out of him.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, in a 3-0 win, you don't have to give a G's down if you don't feel like that, but it's okay. You could this isn't, I think you can do whatever you want, man. It's all good. But I'm just saying but I'm just saying a 3-0 win, I can see how it's hard to come up with the G's down, right? Or maybe it's maybe Cosmo had the G's down. I don't know.
Well, you're already preaching on it, so go ahead and give us yours, and then we'll go to Andrew.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if I have one, and okay, I'll give you
not even a G's up.
Oh, a G's up. I was gonna say a G's down, but I was gonna say really quick on the G's down, since my head is on that topic. And this is a weird one. This is me kind of galaxy braining this probably, but you know how I overthink Baba. But what does Tucker Lepley have to do to get a game? The poor man. Honestly, I mean, shout out Erm. Tucker, he's got that dog in him. He's seething at the bit to play. Yeah. And in a game like this, I would expect it. By the way, Ruben, I don't want to put Ruben in this because I think he was unlucky to not get minutes today. But in a game like this, give the guys some minutes, man. What does Tucker Lepley have to do to get on the pitch, Papa?
Truth.
And it's by the way, G's down is not an indictment on Lepley. It's more of somehow, some way, somewhere, his stock has gone down in the pecking order, and I don't know why that is, because we've never asked the question. But I'm wondering. I'm just wondering. Yeah. That's it.
Well, maybe that's one of the questions that we got to ask soon. Well, chat, we promised to go ahead and ask that question.
Oh yeah, and I guess I didn't get my G's up either. Sanabria was my top 100%. I'm gonna give another shout out to Harbor Miller, man. Kid continues to impress me. He did run at his defender a little bit more today. got the, I guess, I don't know if they counted it as an assist, but the shot came off of him, rebounded off the keeper, blah, blah, blah. He has been deputizing, I would say, valiantly well for Joseph Paintsville. We do expect a lot out of our winger positions. I know Greg talked to us post-match last time, and he wants to, he sees them as an attacking fullback, but he's got a lot of really good instincts. Andrew, I think you were the one, and I called it out on our last show. You used the adjective brave, and I really like that. I think that's appropriate for Harbor. Like, he plays with no fear. And some of our guys, and maybe I don't know if it's a system thing, maybe it's like overthinking it a little bit, but some of our guys don't have that sort of bravery to say, okay, you know what? If I lose the ball, screw it. I'm gonna try to get it back. Or like, I'm in the opposition zone, they're not gonna counter us, like, but I'm gonna try to beat my man one-on-one because I've got the better of him. I'd like to see a little bit more of that gene, especially in some of our attackers and wingers. Gabby Peck had that today as well. But yeah, Harbor Miller continuing to impress for me.
All right, we have Andrew left.
Yeah, I don't think I'll have anything new. For me, it was a toss-up between Sanabria and Miller. I've kind of been singing both of their praises for, it feels like, all season. So in my eyes, I don't think this game has made their stock go up or down. I think their stock is as high as it was in the first couple of games. But for me, it was that game against New York City where I thought Sanabria looked fantastic, and he hasn't really dropped off that level when given the chance. For me, the biggest frustration is he plays well and then he gets benched, it feels like, the next game without fail. So that to me is a big struggle for Greg Vanney, and I think that leads me into maybe my G's down. I don't want to say the player, and again, it's odd to say when he managed a 3-0 win, but for me, it's Greg Vanney. For a lot of the reasons that we're talking about that Ananda mentioned, you could have played players like Tucker Lepley, like Harbor Miller. These young kids, even, we just brought up this kid from BCFC. I would not have been mad to have seen him, get a couple minutes, get a run around. Because again, in my eyes, this game was done and dusted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry?
I mean, this. No, I was saying Pepe Magana's class, man. Like, yeah,
exactly. And it's just, why are we? After that loss against SKC, Greg Vanney mentioned that we were rotating players, and that suggests that we were rotating players for this game in Jamaica when we already have a 3-0 scoreline. So for me, that was the first misstep in preparing for this game, was not fielding your best 11 in SKC. We lost that game, so it cost us points there. And not that it cost us anything in terms of results on the road, but it did cost us the opportunity to get some of these miles out of these more important legs and onto these legs who, A, deserve it, and B, are more willing, like Dylan mentioned, maybe probably more suited to running these type of harsh minutes abroad in the Caribbean. This is the perfect place to use it and then save these important players, especially your defenders, which you're now short on, for these important games ahead. We still have 4 more games in the next 10-ish days or so. So to me, it was a misstep stemming from that SKC game. But for me, my G down would be Vanney, my G up, I think Sanabria and Harbor Miller, just again, doing really, really great games and contributing massively to the attack.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with those. I definitely think that there's a case to be made for giving some of the younger players some time. Nanda, you're absolutely right. Like, where the hell is Tucker Lepley? And I guess if I have to go on record, my G's up is Justin Hack. Just because he now has clarity on his position. That's going to do wonders for him and for the back line and for finding out how the Galaxy want to play. My G's down is the Galaxy front office organization as a whole, because they didn't take me to Jamaica with them. And that is the utter miseries. Like, I'm not happy at all by that. I mean, I know Uncle Phil has that bankroll, and he very easily could have sprang for a Lacuna private jet, but it is what it is. So that's my G's down.
Hey, Pa, real quick, can I throw another G's up here?
Yeah.
For the 20 or 30 Galaxy
hell
fans in that stadium.
Totally.
Salute to you. That's
Jamaica, oh man, I bet you they have some amazing.
I bet they get some fire jerk chicken right now. Woo! They're getting down in that jerk chicken.
Any G that made the Jamaica trip, hit us up, please. We would love to have you on the show and hear about your experiences. But guys, as comprehensive as the win was, there is fallout from it. Like Andrew said, we don't know what kind of lineup we're going to get for the LA Galaxy at Portland this weekend, or what kind of Galaxy we're going to see based on that. But really quickly, before we say bye to our guests for the day, let's go ahead and ask Dylan and Andrew one thing that they're going to be watching for the LA Galaxy at Portland this weekend. And let's kick it off with Don Andrew.
This is a really interesting question. I think the answer has to be that defense. What is that defense going to look like? It would be interesting for me to see my Yoshida start again because he's played so many minutes, but at the same exact time, it would be interesting for me not to see him start because he's probably our most reliable defender right now. And if we don't have Glesnes, for me, undisputably, one of Glesnes and Yoshida needs to be on the pitch. We don't have Glesnes for who knows how long now. So for the next who knows how long, in my eyes, you're going to need Maya Yoshida on the pitch, which again, it's another reason why it was foolish to me, I think, to start Maya in this game. But again, to focus in back on Portland is what is that defense going to look like? And what is that midfield going to look like too? Like Dylan mentioned, this midfield three, Cerrillo, Winder, Sanabria, I think by far and away is the most, not even just the best midfield. It feels like the only midfield. Every other combination to me has left a lot of voids, leaves a gap, a massive disconnect between our defense and that attack. So that's the only thing that has worked. And now by obligation, you're probably going to want to keep playing those, spamming that formation, but you can't. You're going to have to rotate. Again, rotations were a big point in Vanney's presser after SKC, but it feels like in trying those rotations, he's kind of screwed himself for the next really important run. So for me, it's going to be that, looking at the defense especially, but I guess just the rotations as a whole. And how is it going to cost them? Because no matter what you do, you're either going to overplay players or you're not going to have a strong enough team, quote, maybe, to take away points in a lot of these games. So again, I think Vanney's put himself in a pickle. I want to see how he gets out of it.
Interesting. Vanney in a pickle. That should have been your headline. I like
Yeah.
Vanney in a pickle.
Yeah.
We're workshop exactly right. Big Dylan, or I should say Dylan. Hey, come at us with one thing to watch for.
The Jamaican say.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what? That was something that we didn't talk about. Their reporters, awesome.
Yes,
like their accents and everything. They were fantastic. 100. No discredit to you guys, but if I could listen to them do all of our press conferences, I'd be a pretty happy.
I'm amazed that anyone listens to us, first of all, but yes.
Yeah,
I do.
Like
but
who listens to this?
But
they were awesome.
Guys, and then them, I'd be a very happy human being. Like even if we got smashed by 5 or 6 goals, like I'd be an excited gentleman. So
weren't they awesome, man? I loved them. Dude. Like in the other press conference, you could hear them even clearer, and I was like, man, this is really great. Like, and you could tell like Marco was like, what are they saying? Like, I don't know exactly what they're saying, but anyway, I'll kick it back to you, Dylan.
The one thing I'm watching is Gabriel Peck. He is our ceiling raiser. He has to get going. 5 goals in 2 games is a good number, but it is against I don't want to say inferior, but I'm going to say inferior opposition in terms of his talent level. This is a guy that we talked about, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool. Show me that you can do it in the league, because we need you to do it in the league, especially with Paintsel out. We're already at that deficit. You're going to play a Portland team who has been horrific defensively. They've given up the 2nd most goals in the league. They're
guys,
bad. Yep.
Guys, give me a yes or no. Do you think we'll see the same midfield that we saw today? Dylan, hit me with the yes or no.
The stats are telling me no, but I want to say yes. Like, there's no way that you don't play the same midfield 3 after winning 3 games with that midfield 3-0. If you don't, then I don't know what we're doing anymore. That's if there was ever a reason to be like Greg Vanney out, it's just not playing the numbers game correctly. Like, I'm sorry, the stats are in front of you, so just play. Let's go with yes. I'm going with yes because I'm actually going to be in Portland for this game,
Nice.
And I'm fingers crossed my first game has that midfield three. That's
There
what
we
I'm
go.
hoping for.
G's down Dylan for not taking me to Portland with him.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. That's
Yeah,
Yellow card.
Yellow card
Yeah.
right there.
That's an infringement. I deserve that one.
That was a
All right.
2-footed challenge. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I can't play for the Ecuadorian national team anymore. That's my knee right there. Andrew, yes or no? Is that the midfield we're seeing the same one today as we're seeing against Portland?
I think not. That's kind of like one of my points in my last topic. The midfield does well, and then Vanney finds a reason to change it. And I don't know. I think I just have this gut feeling that we're going to see the exact same midfield as against SKC. So Rio, Winder, and Royce. I don't think that's going to be the best thing, but I just have a gut feeling that's what we're going to see. Vanney's going to feel the need to make some type of rotation again because of all the games. And I just see him doing that. He just seems to love benching Sanabria after a good game. Sanabria had some great touches, juggling midair, got himself an assist today. So I think by default, Vanney's going to bench him. So I think we'll see a different midfield next time.
Yeah, that tracks. Has a good game, then he gets benched. Yeah, that tracks.
Man, you guys have no faith at all. Let me throw out a counter argument, which is I think Greg might protect Marco on the turf. That's all that's all I'm hanging on to. To be honest with you, maybe that's a stretch. How many minutes did Marco get today? Or sorry, did Lucas get today? 60?
I think he surpassed 70.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well,
I could be wrong.
I hope we see the same. I hope we see the same split at Portland. 70 minutes to 20.
Yeah.
Lucas to Marco. So
love it.
That would be a wonderful way to approach that game. I mean, like you guys said, the stats are there. 3 games, 3-0. Hey, you got to go with it, right? Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. And kind of like a teaser, we will be joining these two lovely lads next week on their show. So go ahead and catch that. That'll be on Wednesday night. We'll bring you more information about that as we get to it. But boys, really quick, one more time, let us know where we can find you, and what else we can expect from the COC network here in the season.
COC network. That's where you can find Clash of Cosmos. That's where we talk Galaxy. We're newer to the scene. From us, you can expect 5 things after every game. I actually recorded one just before hopping on here, so you'll get one from tonight's match. It's just a raw reaction, so whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave that up to everyone else to decide. But from us, we can continue to hopefully see the Galaxy pick up some form and not be as bad as they've been since we've started the podcast. And maybe me and Andrew can be happier human beings. But yeah, COC Network.
Yeah, and Nanda and I started this in 2023.
Yeah,
not good times, man.
Good times.
Yeah, not good times, man. Andrew, hit us up, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Rob. Un gustazo siempre estar acá. Always a great time. I love learning that, the best podcasts start from the most fiery beginnings, the worst beginnings. So if you have any doubts about us sticking along or being loyalists, I hope we can all put that to bed. We've been here through the tough times. But whether it's a good time or a bad time, you can find us covering it on Los Angeles Sports Nation. We got weekly articles there. We got some work coming from the press box as well. And like Rob mentioned, we'll have the Lacuna Boys on the NGF YouTube channel. It's NGF Andrew, Nuestra Galaxia Futbolera. We have a new series there called the Galactic Seminar, which has a lot of fun. We got 2 episodes live, and it's a really, really fun space for where we get, our reporter friends, our non-reporter coverages of the team, and we get real debates going. If you've ever been forced to be in a Socratic seminar in school, you know what this is about. It's really intense, real deep. It's where if you love a good rant, if you love some good emotion, it's a great space for us to platform that. So you can join Rob, Ananda, Dylan, and I on the Galactic Seminar on the NGF YouTube channel. But yeah, super stoked to be covering the rest of the season with everyone.
Y'all heard them. We're gonna be hanging out with them next Wednesday, but they have tons of good content on their channel. Go ahead and go check them out. And most importantly, go ahead and check out the written word. The homie Andrew is going to be dropping an article, and now more than ever, we need your help to go ahead and keep putting out the written word out there in the universe. So go ahead and support his articles, and you guys will see them online. And if you aren't seeing them online, go ahead and hit up his socials so you guys can stay in the know. Boys, we thank you so much for dropping by. Once more, come by anytime. Open invitation. Dylan, you had something to say real quick.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys. It's always a pleasure being on your guys' show. You guys do this way more professional than we do. It's usually me and Ananda, and oh my goodness gracious, I know what struggles you go through, and you guys do it 50 times better. Like on the side here, Andrew's been texting me like, holy crap, like this is legit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, well, this is legit, dude.
Well, the great news is after about 200 shows, it gets worse. So you have that to look forward to. Yeah.
We honestly, like we've looked to the Podfather a lot. I mean, who has more? Like what does he have? Like 1,800 shows in now? Like just something ridiculous. And yeah, he was on the show and he said, after 200, it all goes downhill from here. And like honestly, we've just been having fun, man. So it's like, we would count all like, oh, we got the show 200, and yeah, there are occasions, but I mean, now it's like, hey, let's get to work. Let's get this coverage out here for the peoples, man. So
it's like this team, man, they got to get to work.
But thank you for the compliment. That's pretty much all Ananda, to be honest. So.
Hey, I get recognized for once. Woohoo! That's a win in my book. Anyways, now boys, thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to join you guys next week. And Dylan, great, have a safe trip up there, and I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you bring some good juju to our G's.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Y'all be good now.
See you later. Bye.
Peace.
So again, guys, you'll know when we have great guests like these two boys on by subscribing to the channel, by hooking up with them, hitting up their socials, subscribing to their socials, so when we all hook up. Come on, guys, it's very easy. Hit the subscribe, hit that like, or as the homie Raul G likes to say, hit the likes, not la pipa. And yeah, man, we are on the march to 900. We're I think like 1/3 of the way there. So with your help, we will get there. Go ahead and put someone on, tell somebody about the show. Super chats are open. I can't believe we didn't say that at the top. I mean, maybe y'all had some questions for Andrew and Dylan, and we just totally forgot to tell you guys. But yeah, super chats are open. And anyway, Ananda, I think that pretty much puts a nice little bow on that 3-0 win. But there is a match this weekend, so let's get into it. Yeah,
Dale, let's get it.
LA Galaxy traveled to Portland this weekend for a return to MLS action, away match on Sunday, March 22nd at 1:45 p.m. at Providence Park, a non-hospitable place for the Galaxy to play. They have met 36 times in regular season action. The Galaxy hold a narrow edge all time at 14-12-10, and Portland has the advantage on their home stadium at 10-5-5. In 2025, they split the games, 1-1 draw in Portland in March, and then the Timbers earned a 4-2 win over the Galaxy at the Digs. Just more sad times at the Digs. Troubling stat here for this one, guys, is that the Galaxy have not won in Portland since April 3rd, 2022. Can they pull off a victory and take advantage of Portland's poor form? We will see. Where are these two teams in the standings after 4 matches? The Galaxy is in 10th place on 4 points, 1 point per game, a 1-2-1 record, 6 goals for, 7 goals against, with a -1 goal differential. They are tied with Austin, SKC, and Minnesota at the moment. It is a little worse for Portland. After 4 matches, they are in 14th place on 3 points, a solitary 3 points, 0.75 points per game, 1-3-0 record, 6 goals for, and a whopping 11 goals against conceded. That's joint most in the Western Conference, tied with the Minnesota. They have lost their last 3 matches, conceding 8 goals in that span. although they opened the season well with a 3-2 home win over Columbus, like I mentioned, the last 3 matches have been losses: a 2-0 away to Columbus, a 1-4 home loss to Vancouver, and a 3-2 away loss to Houston. And I honestly got to say that, for as bad as the Galaxy's troubles have been, and it hasn't been great in the league, Portland has been a little worse. So we have to definitely go ahead and call that out at the moment. And Ananda, we did find out about Glesnes, and that was kind of like the
that was the big
bad
one.
part. The bad part about this win, but we did have Emilio Garces back, and so that means that we only have 3 Galaxy players on the sideline at the moment: Chris Rindov, Joseph Paintsel, and of course Jakub Glesnes. For you, who's the biggest miss here?
Sorry, man. Say that again.
I said
Try to turn on some lights because it's getting dark over here.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
noticed the same thing here. For you, who is going to be the biggest miss for the Galaxy in this match? I mean, obviously Joseph Paintsel and Jakub Glesnes are the 2 big ones.
Yeah, it's Glesnes for me. And you know what's funny? We asked the boys. Hey, by the way, what? Sorry, I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm like, this looks cool. Like what do you guys think of that back? The background. Let me see. How are those lights looking, Pa?
I think they look great. I think
that's awesome, right? Maybe I should just leave it like this because I have it around like the jersey. Anyways, I just got stoked about that for like a geek.
Can you still see me? Okay.
Yes, I could still. There you are. Okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah.
Right on.
No, but it's 100% Jakub Glesnes. But I think we talked about the impact of that. But then on the flip side, you asked Andrew and Big Dylan about one thing that you're going to watch in Portland. Actually, my one big thing, adding on to that the defensive conversation we're talking about, is the return of Miro Garces. Because if Emmy can perform like we know he can, and he can cover for Jakub Glesnes as long as he's out, and again, we don't know what that timetable looks like. I think his return, and most importantly, his return to form, will determine the success of the LA Galaxy, especially defensively. So I think that's, for me, one thing I'm going to watch is the return of Emmy.
Well, the Portland Timbers have a whole hospital unit injured out right now. Cole Bassett, one of their new signings, the defensive midfielder, only 2 starts under his belt and 1 assist. He's out. Anthony, no, not that one. Not the fidget spinner, but also a left winger. 3 starts, 1 goal. Alex Bonateg, center back, 2 starts. He'll be out. Juan Mosqueda has not played in 2026. Neither has Omir Fernandez, and neither has Zach McGraw. Ananda, while you are sharing the Galaxy starting lineup with folks, I'm going to get a light on in here.
Dale. All right, cool. I will do that. So let me pull up the predicted lineups, guys. So this is my predicted lineup, and I was going to ask Rob to see if he disagreed with any of these in a little bit while he gets his light. But so right now for the audio listeners, I will read it out for you guys. So Novak Mitrovic in goal, a back four of Julian Aude, Justin Hack, the newly minted declared center back, partnering with Emilio Garces for me. Again, we saw him back into the lineup today. Get some minutes there at the end. Yamane at right back, a midfield trio. And I hope I'm more right than wrong on this one, but of Edwin Cerillo, Elijah Winder, and Lucas Sanabria. And then for me, the front 3, just to give guys a little bit of a break, Nascimento at number 9 with Eric Tommy on the left and Gabriel Peck on the right, again, following up on his brace. So yeah, I think for me, for the kind of conversation or debate points on my lineup is the midfield 3. We've talked about it with Dylan and Andrew. Are we going to see Sanabria, Cerillo, and Winder? I hope we surely do. Do we see who are we going to see partner Justin Hack? Is it going to be Maya Yoshida again? Or maybe he looked a little leggy towards the end. Maybe we want to save Maya. Does Emmy now come back? But then do you risk the injury that he has on his toe, especially on that turf. It's a question mark. We talked about lightly Mitrovic versus JT. I think Mitrovic is still going to get the start. I think it's too early for that. And then, does Joao Klaus get a little break, and does Nasi get his chance up top at number 9? And then maybe a little bit of a debate on Harbor Miller or Eric Tommy, but Harbor Miller did he play a full game today? I can't remember. But Harbor Miller.
Who are you asking about?
Harbor Miller did play a full 90 today. So, he's a young guy. I mean, he probably could do another 60, 70 in Portland, but yeah, so that's my lineup. Any changes that you would make or any comments from your end?
I mean, I would go with Klaus personally. That's exactly why you have him.
I just hope he's good to go. Yeah.
I think he should be. Yeah. Honestly, before I knew about the Gillespie's, I thought, that we would see that Gillespie's and Garza's center back pairing. Hack has played a couple of games in a row, so I thought Vanney might rest him. So I went Mitrovic, Yamane, Gillespie's, Garza's out. Obviously, Gillespie's not available, so I'd go Yoshida and Garces.
Oh, interesting.
Just because Hack has had a couple of games under his belt. A double pivot of Wander and Cerrillo with Royce as the 10, Peck, Klaus, and Miller. And mind you, Galaxy fans, this is just where I think this is just what I think Greg is going to do, not necessarily what I would do.
Yeah, well, I think this is what Greg is going to do, and that's why I was the only lone wolf in trusting Greg to, let success be your guide and run with that midfield 3, because it's brought him great, really good success so far. And look, Greg's got a week and a half international break to fall back on, so Cerrillo, Winder, and Sanabria are in their mid-20s. Man, just run them. Just run it back, right? Run it back. But look, I think with either lineup, again, this is I said this last time, and I don't want to get pelted for this again or have the team prove me wrong, but I would say with either the lineup that you discussed or the lineup that you see there on paper, I hope that the application is there for us to, to take advantage of where Portland is right now, and they're not having the best of starts, and those teams should be good enough to get a result in Portland. Again, a place that hasn't been kind to us, but if there was ever a time to win in Portland, it would be this weekend.
Yeah, it absolutely is. They haven't been playing great. They haven't looked good. David Acosta, one of their DPs, is just back from injury. He's not fully up to speed yet. Their other one of their other DPs, Chris Avelda, he just got his debut goal last week in this last game. So these are some of the danger men for Portland. They haven't gotten up all the way up to speed, and then they're having to run out their depth pieces, players like Ariel Lassiter, aka Goal Puppy, shout out, former G, once a G, always a G. He only has one start for them this year, but he is splitting time basically because David Acosta just coming back. And then you have players like Alexander Aravena, who did feature for Gremio, 7 goals in 57 matches, so he can come up with a goal. But yeah, this team is not taking flight yet. They don't have their most important players match fit, ready to go, and so they've been relying on a lot of their depth pieces. So for me, jumping right into it, for the Galaxy to win this match, they just have to exploit the individual matchups, and there's going to be places on the field where they're technically stronger and better, and they have to exploit those matchups. And what is it you say, Ananda, all the time that Greg used to say? Win your duels.
Yeah, or like Bruce, right?
Who did I say?
You said Greg.
Oh yeah, Bruce.
I wish Greg said that. But he's a little bit. He's more of a. I guess he likes the sort of offensive, maybe detailed part of the game versus like Bruce is like, win your duels. That's it. That's the game plan. Like, win your duels, right? But by the way, a game plan that worked, served very, very well for the LA Galaxy.
Yeah, it worked really well.
But so this one, right? And we'll get into like the win probabilities and everything. But as you said, like, Portland has never been a kind place. Providence Park has never been a kind place for the Galaxy. That turf has never been a kind pitch to play on. The Galaxy are going to be coming off of a very long flight. they're probably going to be exhausted. There is going to be take a physical toll on this team. So I think for the Galaxy to win, they have to capitalize on their chances early. The longer that this game goes without the Galaxy scoring a goal, I would say maybe in the first half, I think now that lends itself to Portland hitting on the break, Portland getting a cheap goal, Portland getting a goal against the run of play. We've seen that a couple times this season. You saw it in Colorado away from home. You saw it at home versus SKC. The Galaxy did not take advantage of their chances, and the opposition capitalized on theirs against the run of play. So for the Galaxy, they win. For me, I think they need to get themselves on the right foot and score that early goal. Just like today, they scored an early goal. They set the nerves. They calmed the nerves down. And they cruised, and they became a routine win. I'm not going to say this is going to be a cruise or a routine win, but what I am saying is that, because the question was, what do they need to do to win? For me, it's capitalizing on their chances early.
Chat, you know what it is. We have come to the part of the show where we are taking receipts. Let us know who you think will win this match between the Portland Timbers and the LA Galaxy. The Galaxy will be away for this match in Providence Park, where they traditionally have not played well. But as we've mentioned, if there's any time to get at the Portland Timbers, it is right now. The Galaxy do face the Portland Timbers in a day game at 1:45. So what will that do to the body clocks? So let us know, guys, who you think will take this match between the LA Galaxy and the Portland Timbers. Start dropping those predictions in chat, and we'll go ahead and get to those in a moment. Ananda will go ahead and go first because I went first last time on for the Galaxy to win. Boom. Hit us up with some win probabilities via you and Dr. Raquinho.
Yeah, with a little help from Opta. So shout out Opta Stats. But Portland as the home team, a 43.1% win probability. The Galaxy is the away team. Pretty high, 30.2%. That's pretty good for a road team. Anything above like 20-25%, they're giving pretty high odds there to the Galaxy. So, but again, it's like this place just has never been a kind place, especially coming off of a trip from Jamaica. You're playing a few days later.
Jamaica.
I'm not sure about this one. I think this might be a little misleading. But guys, I always throw these extra sort of like fun facts as you put your predictions together. And Opta has shared with us these facts, so I will read them out for the audio listeners. Rob, the LA Galaxy have won none of their last 21 away matches. We know that.
Ouch.
So that's another scoreline. That's another storyline, by the way, that we need to break the duck on this, right? Portland Timbers have won their last 3 games when Felipe Mora has scored. So one to watch for there. There have been 3 or more goals scored in each of the LA Galaxy's last 4 games. There have been 3 or more goals scored in total in each of Portland Timbers' last 8 home games. And the last one here is both teams have scored in LA Galaxy's last away matches. All to say 0-0 is not on the cards for this one.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be. Well, it's receipts time, Ananda. And like I said, I went first last time, so this is you going first this time. Only how we do. Chat usually goes first, so let's go to anybody in chat that had a prediction out there.
Yeah, Joe 13 Cool getting that first prediction in, Papa. Thank you. 2-1 G's finally went on the road. Yes, sir. From your lips to the Lord's ears. Peck and Sanabria scored.
Do it.
Yeah. And so I'm assuming, Joe, that you are predicting and maybe not predicting, but more hoping that midfield trio of Sanabria, Cirio, and Winder play again based off of that. So yeah, guys, go ahead and keep putting your predictions in there. Man, I don't think I'm that far from Joe. However, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw away from home. I think there are going to be goals in this game. You saw sort of some of the predictive stats there, or not predictive stats, but some of the trends between two teams. Is it me? I feel like every time we cover this game away from home, or not even away from home, just between these two teams, it's always a goal fest. Always a goal fest, right? That's why that 0-0 last year, or sorry, 1-1 last year, the Zonka clip ball over the top to Ramirez at the game tying goal. I thought that was more of an anomaly because I feel like every time we play Portland. Like it's always a high scoring. Now, granted, the team's not the same. Evander's not there anymore, etc. But I have a feeling high scoring draw, and the G's are, again, draw. I wouldn't say is the worst result, but I think there's going to be mistakes on both sides. I think there's going to be moments of class on both sides as well, and it's going to be stalemate 2-2.
Man, I'm gonna say with my whole damn chest, I agree with Joe. 13 cool. The G's finally win on the road.
I like it.
And only this win is going to be a 3-1 Galaxy win.
Ooh. So the defense without Glesnes, you're saying they're going to hold Portland to 1 goal. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Look, I think with how leaky Portland has been, I think the 3 is on the card. So like, if I was optimistic, I would say 3-2 Galaxy. But yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying it with my whole chest. 3-1 Galaxy win. They get back to winning ways in the league, and
on the road. That's huge.
And on the road, and they break that duck on the road, right? So yes, you're absolutely right. It's huge because where else do they have to go on the road? They have to go to Mexico on the road against Toluca.
That's right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's going to be a big one. So yes, mine is a 3-1 Galaxy win. Ananda's a 2-2 tie for the Galaxy and Portland. But whatever way it goes, there's going to be goals in it. And no matter how it goes, we will be here with you to break down the aftermath. Ananda, do we have anything else to add before we get on out of here?
I just want to say thank you to everyone in chat for joining us on the IR. Hopefully, again, you enjoyed that live presser. We've got a lot of really good tidbits, I think, from that presser. The Hawk comment, the Jakob Glesnes comment, how Greg is going to approach it in Portland with his rotations potentially, and how he's going to manage this squad over these next couple of days heading into the break. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy that. And yeah, if you have not yet, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe. You guys know what to do. Show us some love. And of course, thank you from the boys from COC Network. And that's all I got, man.
Well, guys, next on this humble little podcast you call the Kuna Galaxiana, you guys know about it because we've been talking about it. The Galaxy head to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Portland Timbers this weekend on Sunday, March 22nd at Providence Park, 1:45 p.m. It's a day game, so go ahead and go get your brunch on. I know that we probably will, but we may be skipping brunch because we may be bringing you this instant reaction and this press conference. If not, we will go ahead and see you on Monday night as usual. Stick with us. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you get to find out what we're doing, because we're going to keep it a buck. We're not exactly sure what we're doing yet. Either a live show on Monday or either an instant reaction and press conference on Sunday. But we will let you guys know in either case. And then the Galaxy do have a week off in which they go through the international break, a chance to get healthy and whole and get a couple of players back and get a couple of trainings under the belt. I think that's it for us, Ananda. Can you think of anything else to say before we get on?
No, I was just going to say, I'm going to keep it a buck. And depending how I feel at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, based off of a certain final that's happening, that's going to determine whether we do an IR or not. And I'm going to keep it a buck. So there you go.
Well, hopefully, whichever way it cracks out, you end up happy. Well, Gunetos, thank you so much for being here with us once again. We want to say thank you once again to Andrew and Dylan for being here with us to share some time. Check us out next week on their channel on Wednesday. We are going to be joining them as well to talk about the state of the Galaxy so far. That should be a spicy meatball. So until we meet again, guys, only one thing left to say.
Dale.
Cheese!